Welcome. What is up? Welcome to Mixer. I'm your host, RC, flying solo today. It is Friday, August 20th. How are you? I am okay. Had some thoughts, had to get off my, out into the world so that it's here on record. And anyway, wanted to stick it in the routine. Even though Jeff's not available this week, you got me. First things first, do not forget to like and subscribe to all of our feeds. We are on iTunes. Our podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all the fun stuff. We are on YouTube. It's the Mixer channel. And we are on social media at FCY Mixer on all the important socials. Still working on our TikTok. Sadly, the Mixer OnlyFans plans are going to be put on hiatus for an indefinite period of time while we readjust our marketing strategies for the next quarter. Primary place to follow us is on Twitter at FCY Mixer. It's me who runs it, none of Jeff's content. If you like Jeff's content, his Twitter handle's in the show notes. So let's get to it though. Tilts. Some quick tilts. Number one, the situation in Afghanistan. I think no matter what the color of your tie is, this is hashtag not ideal. I'm not going to get into it further than that, but the whole situation just sucks. On a positive note, my other tilt is the Padres, which is not a positive note. So, I mean, that's going to transition us really easily into the first topic I had to cover today. The Padres just collapsing. They got no hit by a pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks in his first game he ever pitched. Padres got no hit. They hit some hard balls. Almost got a home run. But no hit. They got no hit. I think they lost that game like 7-0. Tatis came back the next day. If you look at our Twitter feed, I tweeted, there's no way Tatis doesn't put 2 home runs out. And he hit 2 home runs out. That tweet was before the game. It wasn't, after his first home run. Just before the game. So, just pointing that out. Follow us on Twitter. Every now and then we get lucky and have a good take. Nonetheless, the Padres have just been, just total free fall. Pitchers keep getting hurt. They are 3-7 in their last 10. It has not been great. They signed Jake Arrieta. They just got swept by the Rockies. It's been ugly. Not pretty at all. And they had been playing good until I went to they were on a 4-game winning streak before I went to the game on August 11th to get against the Marlins, and they got shut out. So, hand up. I apologize if I curse the Padres. It wouldn't be the first time. But, some of the things that have happened have been out of their control as far as the injuries go. I see a lot of people calling for Preller's head that, he didn't do his job, making sure that this team was set up at the All-Star break. And, just the way that it's been, I'm not listening to local radio or anything, so I primarily get my read on the Padre fan base by Twitter, which may or may not be a good thing. It seems like it's trending towards not being good because the sentiment on Twitter has been really bad. A lot of finger pointing, I'm old enough to remember when the biggest concern for the Padres was Blake Snell and Tommy Pham. Simpler times. Now it's can Jake Arrieta, can his hamstring be well enough to pitch in his spot in the rotation? Because Paddock's out, Darvish is out, and Weathers hasn't been great. Lamet still recovering, so it's just been a mess. Obviously, they're blaming Preller for not adding enough players, and they're saying that ownership is not going to want to sign players because if this is the kind of results they get out of the big signings that they've made, I mean, like what can you do? So I mean, just looking at the win totals, the Padres have 67 wins. They're 9 games over 500. They would be leading the NL East with that record. They would be second in the Central. And yeah, I mean, we still haven't seen them play their best baseball, really. They keep losing to subpar teams. Like, I mean, I feel like the majority of their losses have come to the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. And then, some of the, and like the Pirates, they struggle against the Pirates. It's just been, these really poor teams for whatever reason just come after the Padres. It's like they don't want another formerly bottom dwelling team to beat up on them. So it's like a point of pride. I do feel like teams kind of bring their best against the Padres for whatever reason. But yeah, just the amount of complaints and finger pointing on Twitter. I don't know what's up with this fan base. They were perennial disappointments for a long time. And I mean, back then it was kind of like almost masochism. It was almost like Potter's Twitter was into masochism. Just tortured. And whenever they'd, win against maybe a game that they shouldn't have won, they would get up in the other team's game final tweet and tweet things like, you just lost to the Padres, and just memes all over the place. And simpler times. And now with the Padres currently in a wild card spot, and one of the best records in the National League, it's not good enough. I mean, I guess I can understand because of how things have been trending, but I keep coming back to that Fernando Tatis is a Padre, and he is locked up for a while. And I mean, he's a generational player by all looks of it. So I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to tilt, even though this is a tilt section. I'm more of tilting the Padres fan sentiment and a no-hitter. Like, that's not great. But yeah, I'm not going to tilt about the future of this team because we have Fernando Tatis Jr. He's 22 years old. Has he even played 162 games yet? I don't know. I mean, definitely not a full season, but without getting hurt. But yeah, in total, I think he has now. And Padre fans, just you're being kind of soft if you're pointing the fingers now. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, it's panic time for sure to worry that the Padres might slip out of playoff contention. But let's have some constructive conversations and not just, sky is falling, time to cry, obviously, arguably the swaggiest guy on the Padres, the team that invented the freaking swag chain. Get out of here. Jeff, I know you're saying the U did that, but in baseball, brought the swag chain to baseball and perfected it Um, arguably the swaggiest player on that team or on this team hasn't played a single game this year. I mean, Clevenger on par with Darvish, I would say. He's been hurt. He's still recovering from the injury last season, and you know, hopefully we'll get him back full strength. We'll get Lamet back full strength. I mean, Tatis as well. I've been, ever since Tatis went down at the start of the year and Lamet wasn't good to go. Um, as eager as we are for this team to make a run, like the climb isn't going to be instant. It's a grind. It's a grind for teams to win their titles. I mean, the Dodgers, it took them forever to get over the hump. I mean, the Cubs took generations. So they all just don't come out of nowhere. I mean, the freaking Milwaukee Bucks this year, a team that the Padres can probably relate to. So, I mean, just toughen up, have a spine, have constructive conversations. Mackenzie Gore, I mean, he sounds like he had a good outing yesterday, or I don't know if it was earlier today, but that's when I saw it on Twitter today. So we got that. I mean, Paddock has been up and down. He could get it back. I mean, Snell has looked better. So I got diamond hands on these Padres. The schedule is going to get a little rough. We got the Phillies now, and then we got a early midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here against the Dodgers. And then we go to Anaheim, and then 2 games against the D-backs, then the Astros, Angels, Dodgers, Giants, Cardinals, Giants, Braves, Dodgers, Giants. So very challenging remaining schedule. Any one of those teams are not great. You got 2 with the Diamondbacks sprinkled in there, and then like the Angels and the Phillies are the other 2 teams that don't have the best, have the worst record out of that group. But the Padres have played good against better sides. They have gotten up for games. I still think they're in the Dodgers' head. The Giants, I mean, maybe on cruise control, because I guess they're only like 2 games ahead of the Dodgers. So, I mean, they're going to be beating up on each other, hopefully. I don't know how many games they got against each other. They also might be pressing. So, still optimistic. Hopefully, they can get into the play-in game. And if they get to the divisional round, and pitching's healthy, this team can do some damage. So, stand strong with Padres. We got diamond hands. We ain't no paper-handed, sand jersey wearing suckers. We're we back the brown and gold. We got golden clad diamond hands, except gold's worth nothing because Bitcoin is the new store of value. Seriously, buy Bitcoin if you don't. Not financial advice. Don't sue me, but buy it. We're almost at 50K. All right, and soon it'll be 100K by October, mid-October. That's what I'm calling right now. Okay, let's move on. Let's stick to baseball. Field of Dreams game. I don't get it. Not that I don't get that it is cool to play baseball in a cornfield. What I don't get is the infatuation with it, especially, by the capital J's, who basically were freaking cream corning their pants just talking about it. I don't know how many tweets I saw with just chills and a picture or a short video, and then of course, I get in early on this take and the game just ends up being an absolute barn burner. So, I mean, the game itself delivered, but I I mean, Field of Dreams is an okay movie. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Costner. Waterworld is a better movie than Field of Dreams. And he's in like a western that's pretty good. Is it Tombstone? Um anyway, the western he's in is pretty good. I liked it. As far as the Field of Dreams movie, I mean it's all right. It's kind of cheesy, which I mean most 90s movies are kind of cheesy. But yeah, I mean what's the point besides that? Oh, it's just like they did in the movie. And I mean, there is the tie-in to the Black Sox. That part is somewhat interesting. And the White Sox wearing those old unis, those are sick. I'll give that. Those are sick. But it's not like this. I mean, just the way it was made out, it was like changing the face of baseball or something like that. And we know that the MLB has had a hard time connecting to younger fans. And, I can't think of a better way to connect to young fans than playing a baseball game in a cornfield in Iowa where tickets are $1,400 and it's a movie from the 90s that is slow. Has what is it, James Earl Jones in it, and Kevin Costner. Like this is how we're bringing in the Zoomers, playing in corn and charging. I mean, the most interesting thing about the game probably was the Guy Fieri hot dog. I think that was for the game, the apple pie hot dog. If you haven't looked that up, look it up. It actually sounds kind of delicious. Don't come at me for my food takes. But yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, if I wanted a dose of the Memba berries, I'd start asking Danny about 90s cartoons. It's just like, what's the point? Are we supposed to be harkening back to simpler times when baseball was America's pastime? Is that what it's supposed to? That's what you're supposed to make me believe? So there was only like a few thousand tickets available, and they were face value $400. They only made it available to a few Iowa residents. I don't know how they determined who got those tickets. And White Sox season ticket holders, all 5 of them, could enter in the lottery. So to get tickets, which, I don't know how many of them actually went to this game, but I'm, probably only the purists. But I mean, if you're a freaking White Sox season ticket holder, good chance you are a purist or some sort of sociopath. But they were selling for $1,400 on the secondary market. So, I mean, baseball used to be more accessible. You could get bleacher seat tickets for $5 when they used to play at Jack Murphy Stadium, the Padres. You used to be able to get $5 tickets for the Park at the Park, where I went to sabotage the Padres. Instead, now you can't get down to where you used to be able to, see the game. They used to have like those little bench seats there right in front of the sandbox where the kids could play, and that's gone now. There's a small little section up there. I mean, concessions, ridiculous, So how is this game in a cornfield in Iowa not just a gimmick? I mean, obviously it is a gimmick, but sorry that the fact that it's something from a movie doesn't give me chills when baseball has kind of spiraled down into what it is now, where people go there for Instagram pictures. I mean, football, it's not so much like that. There's still that diehard fan base. Undoubtedly, there's still some people there for the show. And I mean, maybe that's just me. And my point of reference being going to the Chargers games at Qualcomm, because I mean that stadium was just a shithole. So if you went there to watch a game, it was because you were a big fan of the team, because nobody in their right mind would go there if they just wanted a fun event to be at. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's what irked me about the game, is just that, I just saw it as like another corporate bullshit ploy to increase activity on social media. By the way, just a reminder, we're at FCY Mixer on Twitter. Go ahead and give us a follow, rate and review, all that. But yeah, I just like, can we just do different stuff? Not like this. I've actually, since the game was such a success, now they're talking about expanding it, doing one-off games. And I do love the gimmicky hockey games played outdoors. They just did one at Lake Tahoe, which I thought was going to be on the lake, and it wasn't on the lake. It was off to the side of the lake. And the ice melted because it's super hot in California during the winter. Because we drive, diesel trucks and shit. It's not a political podcast, but anyway, keep Tahoe blue. So yeah, I love the outdoor hockey games. I don't know why. And I mean, hockey kind of needs the gimmick. they're like, the fourth major sport, in fourth is being generous. Like Formula One can easily come and knock them off, which hopefully F1 does. Let's keep it going. The summer break has been a long one, but the idea of them playing in the Dominican Republic, for instance, that would be sick. I would love that. And the Padres played the Dodgers in Mexico 2 years ago or something. I thought that was great. Bring it back. I mean, I haven't been to a Toros game in TJ, but I've seen them, and the environment there is just, it's completely different. It's how games used to be, or how I envisioned them being at Jerry Murphy Stadium. I mean, you could get cases of beer there, and not that I'm an alcoholic, but I mean, it doesn't cost you like all your spending money from a single paycheck to enjoy, an afternoon game. And I would much prefer that vibe to $1,400 tickets and, white dudes in cargo shorts and khaki hats like Smalls' character wears in in the Sandlot, with freaking high socks and white New Balances. Like that just doesn't give me chills. Now a game in the DR with Dominican Republic fans, and some real grit, not freaking corn grit. Like I am all for that. Or on a military base, something like that. I'll even put aside my normal gripe of free military advertising in sports. But yeah, I mean, that would be dope. When the Aztecs played on the carrier, and got destroyed by the zone defense of Syracuse, that was sweet. But playing in a cornfield because it's what happened in a Kevin Costner movie, that ain't it, fam. Racing. So, easy transition from the cornfields of Iowa to the breadbasket of Europe, Le Mans, France. France is the breadbasket. Le Mans is city. I messed up that transition a little bit, but I mean, not too bad. There's the Le Mans race. That's where our car is. I think they qualified 4th and 5th. So yet to see a picture of at FC Wine Mixer on the car. Race starts tomorrow morning, 7 Pacific, and runs till 7 Pacific on Sunday. A full 24 hours, twice around the clock. It's worth tuning in. I believe it's on the Motor Trend channel. So give it a watch if you have it. It's something good to have on in the background, and the tech is just crazy. So super excited about that. Just want to touch briefly on NFL preseason. So we had week 1 last week, or the conclusion of week 1 of NFL preseason. Most of the rookie quarterbacks look great. Justin Fields looked great. Trey Lance looked great. Zach Wilson looked pretty good. And I'm missing 2 others. Mac Jones, I'm told, looked good. And, there's one more. The backup for Indy supposedly looked good. I can't think of his name. But, that's kind of an open competition. We'll see who ends up starting there with Carson Wentz being hurt. And my other note here is that Anthony Lynn is still running the ball like it's 1973. They had like 8 first down plays or something, and they called runs on 7 of them or something like that. I think they actually put up the most points and did pretty well. Like Drew Lock looked all right, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the type of offense they run there, and also the fight for LA. The Rams played the Chargers in a preseason game for the first time. SoFi Stadium, Rams house, as I'm constantly reminded. Every single tweet, every single Instagram post by the Rams is whose house? Rams house. Which, I mean, like, what are you trying to establish there? Is that some angst against the Chargers because you share the stadium? Like, Kroenke bought it. Clearly, it's the primary stadium for the Rams. Like, I don't think too many people are disputing that. I don't think Charger fans are trying to say this is our house. The Chargers didn't want to be there. Well, Charger fans did not want them to be there. I think even LA Charger fans, there might be a select few of them that are happy that they're in LA. But I mean, let's just face it, the majority of the Charger fans are probably still from San Diego, Orange County, who would much rather travel to San Diego than Inglewood, right? So, Rams house. Is it your house? Because last year you lost to the Jets in the Rams house. And you lost to the Chargers in preseason in the Rams house. And your boy and the fans got his ass whooped by Rams fans and Charger fans because some mujer threw her soda pop at some guy and started a riot. Way to stay on brand, LA, in the Rams house. Gotta love it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to those games being a shit show as the years go by. And, the Chargers having a intra-city, the battle for the mega market will be written in blood. What are we doing? Anyway, yeah, fantasy football prep is kicking up. I'm going to make Jeff commit to some sort of mock draft next week. We got the puppy drafts going. I really want to do a big dog draft. So hit me up if you want to be on the bankroll. We do joint team, joint draft. They have 8-hour timers, which are probably reduced to 4 hours. I'm thinking about kind of doing a series of videos and just recording each time I'm on the clock and going through my thought process as I make the pick. So yeah, I think that'd be fun. It'd be a lot of editing, but it'd be fun to look back on to, you know, to submit our ticket for the big dog fight with the fantasy pros. If we take that down, we become legends. If we make the finals, shit, probably give us some clout. I just fell short making the finals for I think it's the Dinger or something. It's the big underdog baseball tournament. I made the semis, and I made the semis in the football one last year too. That baseball team, oh man, it was. I mean, there's some good players on there. I had DeGrom, but he's hurt, obviously. So I think like Snell scored me the most points somehow out of the last week. I had Altuve, and he had a little bit of a cold stretch. So anyway, I got lots of tickets punched for the underdog best ball leagues. Yeah, I kind of I'm not really diverse with my player base this year for whatever reason. Sometimes I would just go after players because I didn't own them, and now I'm just every time, I'm just looking at the position I need, not picking the guy at the top of the list, regardless of how many teams I have him on. So, I just have a little bit more confidence in my evaluation of players and situations and stuff. And so, I mean, this year, maybe it's just a test, but if things break right, could be looking really good. If it doesn't work out, then I'm going to be hurting. My bankrolls could be taking a big chunk. But yeah, so hopefully more fantasy content coming if that's what you're into. But I mean, if you have questions and you're like just hit me up. I got opinions on pretty much every player, every situation. So we are a good resource for that. If you're mulling somebody over, or there's a player that you're considering, or kind of don't know what side to go on, just tweet at me at FCY Mixer, and yeah, happy to help. I love weighing in on that stuff, and it's not just gonna be this is I go with such and such. I tell you why, and my thought process. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it. Next week we hope to have Jeff. Yeah, thank you for listening. Let's go Glickenhaus team, FCY Mixer at Lamar, and and the Reese car too. Love those boys in Houston, Texas. Yeah, they're gonna be running a Ferrari in a few years there, I think. So big weekend. Let's go Padres. They got the Phillies tonight. Let's get back on the right track. Keep our diamond hands, and let's go BTC. Hit that 50K this weekend. Let's see. What are we at? We're at 49 flat. So, I mean, the 49.2 right now. Yeah, man. We're gonna be at 50K too soon. We're gonna smash through that. All right. PF Chang's time. Deuces.